Hello friends, this is Grandmaster Aleksandr Rakhmanov, and today I'm gonna show you my game against Ian Nepomniachtchi. The reason I'm gonna do that, quite simple. Uh, Tomorrow is the first game between Ian Nepomniachtchi and Magnus Carlsen for the World Champion title. Actually, for non-Russian chess players and chess fans, it's quite difficult to pronounce full surname of Jan. So usually they talk just Nepo. But for me, it's quite easy to pronounce since I'm Russian. So we can just say Nepomniachtchi, and you can also try it if you wish, Nepomniachtchi. So I was lucky. I'm just 1 year older than Jan, and since we both born in Russia, I had opportunities to play against him, and actually we have even score in classical games. I found 6 games in database, so score is 3-3. I won 1 game and Jan won 1 game, but the last games from rapid tournaments, pretty bad for me. I lost 3 games. Also, I was playing black in all these games. So let's go to the board and see what happened 11 years ago. We played this game in Aeroflot Open in 2010. My rating was 2591. Jan's rating was 2658. Maybe not that high, but actually later that year he became a European champion as well as winner of the Russian Superfinal, very strong closet tournament. So at that time he already was a really strong player, and probably since this game was played in the first round, his plan was to beat me. That's why he went for Volga Gambit, or also well known as Benko Gambit. So let's see what happened. And I don't really like to accept offers of Gambit's openings. So usually I prefer not to grab the pawns. And against the Benko Gambit, we have different possibilities, like maybe knight f3, queen c2, knight d2, and other moves, as well as c takes b5, a6, and b6. Another opportunity to give back the pawn. Because one of the, let's say, main move is b takes a6, just grabbing the pawn. In the game I played b6, e6, knight c3, e takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, knight c6, e4, bishop e7, since white's idea was to play bishop c4, which is somehow unpleasant for black. Bishop c4, castling. Now it's finally time to develop the knight f3, and rook b8. Queen b6, of course, is possible move, but probably black thinks that it's better to place rook to the open file rather than taking on b6 with his queen. So bishop d2, rook b6, and bishop c3. And strategically speaking, white is much better here, because we have 2 pawn islands. Black has 3 pawn islands. Just in case if you are not familiar with pawn islands, this is 1 pawn island, and this is another one. And black has 3 pawn islands. Another problem for black that d5 square is pretty weak. So in case if white will be able just to finish his development, place both rooks to the semi-open files d and e, rook d1, rook e1, his position is much better. Ian played knight b4, also something like d6 probably is better, threatening bishop e6, and maybe like anyway playing bishop e6 on the next move. So white is not in time to use his positional plus. Ian went for knight b4, queen d2, bishop b7. And actually, looking at my old games, sometimes I'm surprised with my play, because here I went for long castling. Also, probably it was kind of preparation. On the other hand, of course, in 2010, the engines were not that strong, so I even don't remember what level of preparation I had. Probably not that great at all. So long castling, and here we have our first stop for this game. I'm gonna flip the board, and it is black to move. Also, castling alone was a surprising decision. I mean, for us. I mean, not for the players, but for, like, if looking at this game right here, right now, because it seems like black has some pieces on the queen side. But surprisingly, it's really hard to create anything, because it's hard to open up the position on the queen side and to place black pieces to the good squares. And here we start with difficult question, what to do. And I give you 5 seconds to stop this video if you would like to improve your chess. Just stop this video and take your time thinking what to do. So I hope you did that. And interestingly, best move for black is d5, sacrificing the pawn. White has to take, he takes d5, rook d6, bishop b4 is something must to do. He takes b4, and this position is very complicated. Black has decent compensation for the pawn. So this was the best way. Of course, obvious move seems to be bishop e4. Now queen d7. And unfortunately for black, his position is pretty bad. He tried bishop g5. Knight takes g5, queen g5. Rook d2. Also, it seems like white king is somehow open and black can use it. In fact, there is no way to do that. And once again, as I mentioned previously, in terms of strategy, white is much better than he was previously, because white has better pawn structure, white has bishop pair, and only black's hope here is to create some mating attack on the queen side. In case if it will be any endgame is just lost for black. Another good question, not really a hard one, but and not question which has not the only solution, but still nice one. I give you 5 seconds to find the best move for white, And actually it would take you just maybe somebody of you just 5 seconds, 10 seconds. But in case if you don't see it immediately, then just stop this video and try to find the best move. So the best move here is a nice tactical shot, pretty simple. Queen takes f7, rook takes f7, and rook d8 mate. So that's why black played bishop g6, but the problem that actually there is no good move here, like a move which holds, I mean at least like slightly worse position. There is no such move. So he went for bishop g6, at least like protecting pawn on f7, threatening to take on g2. And here we have another good position to solve. It's white to move here, and once again, if you would like to make it interesting way and try to improve your chess, I would recommend you to stop this video and think, because actually here is the only move for white which gives him a solid advantage. And even if we don't talk about solid advantage, just about advantage, it's still white has only one move. Okay, I hope you did some job. And sometimes most natural move is the best one, and here we have only one piece which is still not playing, rook on h1. So simply rook e1, improving the rook, taking control over e-file, threatening rook e8, so queen g2 is not possible. That's why he went for rook b8. And funny thing that even looking at this game now, it's still hard to believe that black is already lost. But as I told you previously, there are obvious reasons for that. And black piece is just badly placed, so he has nothing to do here. He went for rook b8, simply g3, protecting the pawn. And also one of the main ideas is to push f4, so getting rid of this pin. Queen h5, and suddenly after a3, black knight is trapped, and in fact game is over. Rook c8, of course it's too early to take on b4, but we can make any move, simply f4. Protecting the pawn on h2, maybe having in mind something like rook e5, queen f3, simply queen d6. Rook e8, rook takes, a takes b4, e takes b4, elegant move, queen e5, weakness of the back rank, queen h1, rook d1, rook takes, and bishop takes e5. Black resigns. Only move that stops rook d8 is queen a8, but then bishop c7, threatening rook d8. Easy win for white. So I have a nice win against Ian, and possibly against next world champion. And let's see what happens in their match, and see you in the next video.